welcome to the round table. I'm excited. It's a Wednesday. It's my favorite part of the week. It gives me that boost, hearing all your guys' wins, and then working through questions and answers for our newer and our people scaling businesses. So first of all, just want to make sure that everybody knows how to communicate with each other. We got a chat window or chat bubble at the bottom of the screen there, and you can chat with the whole team, or you can chat individually amongst each other as well. If anybody also would like to speak or question, any questions or something like that, please hit the react button at the bottom. It looks like a little heart. It says react below it. There's the ability to raise your hand, as well as put any of the emojis you see in there, and a few other things like effects that we have. And I'll throw one up here. Boom, floating hearts. But that's the other part. And then lastly, but not least, make sure you guys answer or ask any questions you guys have, because I believe, just like Judd says on a weekly basis, is the only dumb question is the one you didn't ask. So there are no dumb questions. Feel free to put them out there and we'll get through to them as well. So first things first, I always like what Judd does with a positive start out, which is let's get some wins on the board. So anybody got a win they want to share with the group today? Anyone at all? A win, personal, business, it could be any of them.
I got one, Matthias.
Let's go, Gabe. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Finished my first job up this past week.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Good job. What kind of job did you do and how did it go?
It was a seal coat restrike job at a Dollar General.
Fantastic.
And it went good, man. I have a little bit of practicing to do on the line striping. That's the first time I did it. It turned out okay, but it can definitely be better. But I learned a lot. So yeah,
that's good. I swear, when you go in there and the first thing you do is just got to do what you say you're going to do. Sometimes I feel like you learn more from that first few moments, getting through the fear wall. And then you're like, okay, just got to do this. Let's go. And you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Nobody expects you to be absolutely perfect, but you can always work it back and correct the errors, right?
Yeah, there was one line that was actually the first line I did, and it was crooked as hell, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I told the guy, I said, look, I'll redo this line if you want me to. He's like, no, man, it's all right. It ain't that bad. I said, it's pretty bad. He said, no, it's good. I said, you sure? I said, I don't mind. I'll seal over it and I'll restripe it. No, it's fine. It's like, okay, if you're happy, I'm good, but I'll be glad to do it. So
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you actually owned it too, and the fact that you brought it up to him, and the fact that you said, hey, I'll still do it. That shows quality. It means you're not going to be, nobody's perfect, like I said. So it's fine to be, vulnerable that way, but doing the right for your customer, number one. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think we got Claudia. Claudia, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think my win of the week will be I'm usually like when regarding for my customers, I'm like a striker, so I go straight up to their doors and I pitch and I get the sale. Now I started a new strategy that is more like territorial, like really hitting territories. And I did my first job in Ontario this week. I'm from Montreal, Quebec. So it's my first job that I did in another states. So I would say it's my win for this week. And I really liked it. I did a brewery. So I got paid, but they gave me a little bit of beer, to get paid too. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool regarding and knowing the fact that I'm still doing it a little bit with I'm sorry for my English, but it's a little bit more artisanal. I don't know, like I really need to put equipment into my business, but this was my win, so a new state unlocked for me this week.
Love it. That is a double win. You got money and beer. That's fantastic. Wicked. Thank you. All right, Todd, let's go, brother. Just hit that. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
It's the first time I spoke to you guys. I keep listening to you every week. I've not spoken yet, and I'm like, man, these guys are making some cash. And I'm getting like $600 jobs, $1,000 jobs. I'm like, man, this better pick up soon. So this year it did. It picked up pretty good. And for my win this week, $50,000 contract tonight. Oh yeah, baby.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah. It picked up this year, baby.
Good for you.
Yeah.
$50,000. Oh,
Yeah,
Todd,
that's
congrats,
like a
man.
miracle when you're doing $1,000 jobs, man. It's like the
50 and
angels
one?
above have opened up.
Congrats, Todd.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
that's a 50x on your $1,000 jobs. That's fantastic.
That's a lot of orders at Asphalt Kingdom, baby.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Mm,
Congrats, man. That's wicked.
Appreciate it.
Matthias,
Thank you.
what's up, man? I made it out of traffic, guys. I made it in, thank goodness. I was sitting in traffic, unsure. We ended up jumping out of the Uber and literally walked to back here to make it in time for the roundtable. We showed up a little late, but we're here. Better late than never, right?
man.
Absolutely.
Hey, Matthias, there's a huge win, man. We've got Skylar Garmin on here right now. I don't know,
Yes.
Skylar, if you can come off video or on video rather.
There he is.
Congratulations. Congratulations on the addition to the family, brother.
Woo! Thanks, dude.
Where are
5:30
you right
a.m.
now? Where are you right now?
I just went back to my house to let my dogs out, and I'm heading back to the hospital. So,
Big round of applause to Mr. Skylar Garmin, Coach Skylar. Big
Another
baby,
Y in your
arrival.
life. That's amazing.
How'd that feel, buddy?
it's wild times. It's been a long couple days. So I've like 1 hour of sleep in 2 days. So it's fun.
Well, you only have another 7 or 8 months left of that, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, congratulations to you and the fam, man. I'm so happy for you guys. Much love to you guys, man.
Thank you.
That's a huge win. What do you say, Matthias? Is that a big win or what?
You know, it's one of those things that until you have one, you don't realize how amazing that moment is. It is one beautiful moment in life. And from that moment forward, you just know that as a father, I know there's a lot of fathers on here. There may be a mother on here too, that your moment in life, when that life joins your family, your life is poured into your special kid. And I'm just fortunate enough to have 5 of those wonderful human beings walking around. So it is right here for me.
We're all rowing that boat back there with you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
That's
Kind of
great.
ties into the why too sometimes, right? For us, it's the big old why we do what we do. What
If you're ever
drives
feeling
us.
down, think of that, because that's the moment you just go, yeah, it doesn't matter how hard this is, how tough this is, how in and out every day. You're like, man, I've been here 12 hours, 14 hours. It doesn't matter. They're worth every second I'm putting into this, every single second. So
Yeah.
congratulations. That's beautiful.
What else is cooking here tonight, Mr. Matthias? What else is cooking? What
Well,
else is cooking?
we're into thankfulness and praising, wins and stuff. So anybody else have a win for this week? Let's go.
I've got
Anybody
a cool
else?
story. Oh yeah, Mike Winley. I know he's always got wins. He comes to the brown table always energized. Listen, you cannot, let me tell you this. You cannot leave an AK round table if Mr. Michael Winley is here without you being super energized and inspired to absolutely crush it, man.
Amen.
What's up?
Listen, and you know what? I just want y'all to know every week I've been winning. In the beginning, I was scrambling, I was desperate, I didn't know what to do. But I started getting these small wins. Congratulations, Todd, on that $50,000 job. You know what? It takes sometimes a bunch of them little ones to get your confidence up a little bit bigger and better and stronger, where you could go out there and speak to people and build relationships with others out there to get them bigger wins. It's crazy. I went and looked at a huge paving job today in another town, thanks to Dylan and Asphalt Kingdom for some of the coaching they've taught me how to go out and find these whales, like Judd calls them, and property managers. And I had 2 come in, hour plus away, went and looked at them both today. One of them was discount auto parts, but on concrete. They said they want a seal coat, so I went out there and talked to them anyways. Found out it was concrete. But while I'm there, I'm walking all around the little town. I'm gonna eat lunch there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hang out. I go knock on some bank doors. You know what I mean? Get my card out. Go to a couple other places, their property. I'm looking around. I see a place in another town where I did some striping for my buddy Billy. I take a picture of it. I sent it to him. I said, you know the owner of the property manager here? Well, he was taking a nap. He got back with me later on that day. He said, no. I told him I went into the big store. He said, the big store might not give you the information you need. They might not be the person that actually owns the property. What you need to do is go to the little store. You need to go to the barber shop. You need to go to the, like Judd said, to the furniture store and ask them people in there, because they know who they're paying their rent to. They know the bill. You go in there and you say, hey, if you had a hole in your roof and water was flooding down in here, who would you call? You got a big old parking lot out there that ain't hardly got no lines on it. Who would you call? You know what I mean? You take that information, you take a picture of the property manager. This was taught to me today. I've heard it over and over again, but I want y'all to know, if y'all just listen and apply the little bitty things, it'll start turning into bigger things, and it'll all start clicking together. There's so much free coaching on here that you can go back and watch with some of the roundups and the other things that help build that foundation. So when you start learning and growing more, it just kind of becomes like a machine. You know what I mean? So that's my win. I'm winning every week. Got a bunch of work lined up. Don't even know what to do with it all. You know what I mean? Got 100 phone calls I ain't made yet this week, Dylan. But I've been looking at stuff. So I just wanted to celebrate with that with y'all and tell y'all, man, to just keep going, man. Let's grow.
Let's grow. Let's go, man. Let's go. Keep those wins stacked too, man. Like it's something that I constantly say. I might sound like a broken record, but it's like success attracts success, man. When you get in that groove, when you get into that higher level, it starts to unfold, man. We've got a coaching client that we're working with right now, Gabriel Astro, and it's just, I mean, it is wild. Dylan, maybe you want to like chime in, man. Like one of the things that they're practicing right now is, and unfolding, is appointment setting. And, you know, it doesn't all happen overnight, right? It takes time to build up. And maybe you want to talk about what kind of that discipline and consistency looks like, and then kind of the results that come out of that too.
Yeah, I think it's just FTDP, follow the dang process, right? I think when it comes to doing any kind of outbound marketing, it's so important to have the right client list kind of dialed in. Me and Mike spent a lot of time on that, and with Gabriel, we spent a lot of time too. When you are running sort of, whether it's onshore, offshore appointment setters, just making sure that you're keeping that daily rhythm with them is so important. If you don't have somebody working beside you at the desk next to you, you need to find a way to build that culture kind of virtually. And so we really focus a lot on getting that morning meeting cadence and rhythm in, where it's only a 10-minute call, but just making them feel heard. I mean, that's a good lesson for any sort of buddy who has staff, is that when you talk about building good culture, one of the most important things is that your staff feel heard, and that they have a platform and kind of an environment to be able to do that in. And then just monitoring the KPIs through, some sort of reporting system, whether it's an end of day report or a weekly report, is so important. So, Gabriel, I think he was skeptical at the beginning, but, he's seen a 900% uptick in his appointments that he's attending. He did almost no commercial before. And now he's doing anywhere between 10 and 15 proposals and assessments a week, all because of outbound appointment setting. And I think he locked down a $30,000 job this week. So FTDP, that's the takeaway.
Yeah, for sure. Any questions on this kind of stuff? For anyone on here, do you guys, like, just curious, out of curiosity, do you guys have a sharp process on the way that you're building the front end of your pipeline right now? Raise your hand if you have a sharp process on how you're really building the front end of your pipeline, meaning like enrich prospects, making sure that you're reaching out to those prospect lists that are your key targets, the right kind of communication methods, the right kind of follow-ups. Raise your hand if you've got that nailed already, front end of your pipeline. Gabe, you've got a lot of the front end of the pipeline. Is that where did you learn that through our channels, or have you learned it through past experiences, or where have you learned the front end of your pipeline? And maybe you want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned it from you guys. So, you know, I have somebody doing cold calls for me, and we're also doing, reaching out on LinkedIn. I use the software that you promoted, which is the Phantom Busters, to get the enriched numbers, and just stuff that I've learned on here. I just picked every bit of it up from you, and it does work. I mean, she sent me one today, so I have to set an appointment. So I mean, it's constant. Now it takes a lot of calls, obviously, to get a good lead, but it does work. So.
Yeah, it's interesting, like we get clients sometimes that are, and this is an important thing, is like we start to make these phone calls and it's like, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not getting the results from these phone calls. We've got one particular client who I don't know if he's on here right now. He can probably speak to it, but yeah, I know he's on here actually. I can see him. I can't see him, but I could see his name. If he came on camera, he'd probably talk about it. There he is. Ben. Ben sent the message yesterday, and it's pretty inspiring, man. Ben, are you able to talk about the story about boxing, give a little bit of background, man, and just kind of go through it? Because I think this is such an important thing, man. Really on the front end of our pipeline, and what this is all about, to really create the momentum that's needed to build a company that's not going to be struggling with the wrong kind of jobs and making the wrong kind of money.
Yeah, Judd, I'll be happy to share with you. So what exactly do you want me to share? Sorry, just want to be specific and answer your question.
Yeah, I think it was about the boxing, man. It was like the outbound calls relating to boxing is the analogy, and just really like, this stuff is not easy, right? It's not easy, but.
So yeah, I used to box growing up, and if you've heard of Canelo Alvarez, we actually trained in the same facility for a couple of weeks back in the house. But I remember going to the gym going to the ring every day, just fighting, right, and just being scared getting the first punch, right. But once you got the first punch, I mean, I was just all the adrenaline would just pumped, and I would start the pump like after I think called right, like you warm up and gotta pick up the darn phone and you make those phone calls. I mean, way around. I did finish the book that one of the coaches, Dylan, recommended. It's called Call Calling Sucks. And it does suck, but it works. And there isn't any better way right now to get in front of people. Like call calling is by far the king when it comes to setting appointments. And I mean, I've done some phone calls, to be honest, and I've gotten results. And if I did more, I would be getting more stuff, right? So it does work. FDTP, or follow the damn process, right? So it worked, guys. I'm grateful for the coaches here at Asphalt Kingdom. Thanks, Judd and Dylan.
Yeah, man. You're following the process. You're doing what you need to do. I appreciate that. Yeah, then that analogy stuck with me too, man. It's one of the hardest things in the world to actually just take that very first action, to pick up the phone and break the ice, and then start to really unfold volumes at a level that gets really uncomfortable, man. Like, we're pushing our internal teams every day right now to pick up volume. And the reason why is the more outbound calls we do to the right kind of people, the better chance we have of more connection rates. The more connection rates we have, the more engaged conversations we have to listen to people's problems. And then we can help to hopefully provide them with some solutions relating to their problems, and then over deliver on the value, and then essentially transact. And I think that that's something really, really important that, a lot of us miss. And we speak about it a whole ton on the roundtable. I mean, I will say, we'll ask the question, raise your hand if you have more work on your calendar than you know what to do with. Raise your hand if you have more work on the calendar than you know what to do with. Raise it high for me. More work than you know what to do with.
Just the one, Matt Phillips.
I see Skylar too. Skylar's stacked, right? Like they've got so much work to finish before the end of the year. And now let me ask this next second question, which I think is really important. Who here has the right kind of work that's stacked on the calendar at a level that you don't know what to do with, the right kind of work. Stack your hand. You see, guys, I think that that's such an important thing, right? Is like, raise your hand if you know what an enriched prospect list is. Enriched prospect list. 4 or 5 people on it. Can you, McCann, can you describe what an enriched prospect list is for the team on here?
Yeah, I think in the most layman's terms, an enriched prospect list is something that you have all of the information that you need to market to that prospect. So, in our industry, it's being able to take an address, tie that to a property name, to an entity that manages it, like a property management company, tie that to a point of contact, understand their job title, have an email, have a phone number, and then bonus points if you've got social media profiles and professional profiles to be able to market to as well. But the bare minimum is you need a point of contact, you need an address, and you need a phone number and an email. If you don't have a phone number, you can't cold call. If you don't have an address, can't do lumpy mail. If you don't have an email, can't do cold email. If you don't have social media, you can't do direct messages. So ultimately what it boils down to is having the right information for the right property, and that's verified so that you're actually able to reach out and engage them in marketing activities. We know that it takes anywhere between 10 and 20 touch points to close a deal. So, if you think you're going to pick up the phone, dial somebody once, close them on the spot, it does happen. But the reality is that you're going to need to have multiple touch points with all of these customers, and that can be a pavement assessment, an estimate or a proposal, a call, a text, an email, a piece of lumpy mail, them seeing your truck, a DM, anything where you interact with them is a touch point. And if you're not doing cold email, if you're not doing cold calling, if you're not playing around with lumpy mail and ads and, firing up your social media, you're just playing the game with one hand tied behind your back because you're not maximizing the amount of touch points that you can do. And having an enriched prospect list or an enriched lead list is the first step in making sure that you can engage somebody who is an ideal customer or a target market of yours. It's the first step in being able to make sure that you can engage them on all avenues or vehicles, or our favorite word of this quarter has been omni-channel presence. So.
And that enriched prospect list, who thinks that it directly correlates with your financial goals of your hand if you believe that your enriched prospect list correlates with your financial goals of your company? It's super important. If you don't have an enriched prospect list,
Judd,
yeah, go ahead, jump in.
I just want to, and I want to add the, I guess one thing about follow-ups and touch points, right? I mean, I just got off on an assessment. That's why I'm running a little behind. But this customer, it took, I don't know, 4 calls for me to get a hold of him. And then I have one guy at one of the Hilton's hotels, and it's like, yeah, thank you for following up. It took me like 6 emails and a few calls. And then another one is like, hey, I'm sorry, just my father-in-law, passed away, and my husband had medical surgery, but I'm still interested, right? Thanks for calling up. And it's just not giving up on people until they tell you no, right? Be this.
We're losing you, Ben. We're losing you on your connection, but totally consistency and being persistent as well. That's such an important thing, right? So important. We've kind of lost you here, so we'll keep going. But really, what I find is that you don't want to be spinning aimlessly in the dark, uncertain where you're really going. It's no fun. I frankly, if I have no plan, I don't know about you guys, but if I don't have a plan, just going out or hustling, I don't really know where I'm going to get to. I don't have a checkpoint. No real KPI. It's no real KPI. Can you guys hear me loud and clear, by the way? Am I all right?
It was cutting out, so if you stayed a little closer to wherever you're at, wherever your mic's at, that'll be better.
I might be speaking through my camera, but yeah, you know, you just got my drift here. Does that make sense? Yeah. So people are like, well, how do I get the plan? You get the plan. Mike, you got your hand up. How do you get the plan, Mike? You're muted. You're muted. We've got Mike and connection issues today.
Yeah. So the way to get the plan is you're at the right place. Asphalt Kingdom, Judd, Dylan, all the coaches, they got the right plan. I was following the right plan, like Gabe was talking about from Asphalt Kingdom. But man, they have sharpened my plan. They have simplified it, and they pointed me in the right direction, because I was out there aimlessly just knocking on every door that had a bad stripe on it, talking to the wrong people. Now I got the list. Now I got my ideal customer profile. And I just want to say one more thing real quick, y'all. I won't say no more tonight. Sometimes I get calls from people wanting to sell me something or wanting a service to provide a service for me. And since I'm kind of new at the salesman stuff or sales stuff, if they're nice and if they're polite and if they speak well to me, I'll listen to them, because I'm always listening to see what others have to say if it's something that can improve what I'm doing. And I take that. But sometimes they call me and I'm in the middle of something, because I answer all calls, because I ain't trying to miss nothing. Unless it says spam on there, I'm going to answer it. And what happens is sometimes they'll call me and I'll be on parking lot. I'll be like, hey, I appreciate the call, but listen, right now ain't a good time for me to sit down and do a demo with you or something else. But call me tomorrow. Call me the next day. And a couple of times they call me and I'm on another part. Listen, if they catch me at the right time in the right place and I got time to talk to them, I'll talk to them. And you know what? I remember, man, these people hunted me. They were kind. They were polite. They followed. Not that I'm probably not going to buy what they got. And I tell them that in the beginning sometimes, you know, hey, I'm just like the way you're talking to me. Appreciate that. You're doing a great job. So I'm taking that and I'm applying it to me not wanting to go out there and make them calls, and me not wanting to hunt people down, thinking that I'm bothering them or I'm wasting their time, or maybe I ain't got a service to provide. They might not need me now this week today, but they're going to have my email in their emails when they need something done. They're going to remember that they had talked to me if I can get them to have a conversation with me, even though they ain't want me to do nothing for them right now. Because sometimes my calls go 5, 10, 15 minutes and they don't even need my service, but we done started talking. And I believe just from the things that have been taught to me, that's how I need to be in relationships with people. And that's how I want people to be in relationship with me. To create a remarkable experience, get to know, like, and trust you.
You know, it's interesting, right? You kind of, you know, raise your hand if you're a salesperson on here. Raise your hand if you're a salesperson.
Yeah, a little bit.
Every
Are you
one
a
of us is a
salesperson? Is
salesperson.
everybody a salesperson on here?
Everybody better be.
All right, cool. Well, what I want you to do is I want you to take your salesperson hat off and I want you to throw it away in the garbage. Like legitimately. And you guys are looking at me like you're nuts, Judd. Like, what are you talking about? And what I'm going to say is I want you to put your consultant hat on. I want you guys to move into the mindset of consultative sales, not being a salesperson. And if you guys can put that hat on of being a consultative salesperson, that's secondary, then what you'll find is that you're coming from a purity of intent that's related to actually consulting and advising somebody first on the right solutions to their problems that you can then over deliver on the value, and then you can close more deals. Let me ask you a question. Who here prefers to get advice on things versus being hard sold on things? Raise your hand if you prefer advice. I think we all do by far, right? Like, man, I mean, that's why you're all here. You're here for advice. And if we can provide enough advice to you all, then you're going to love us even more. You're going to like us more. And then hopefully we'll be a part of that journey with you guys for the rest of your life. And that's the kind of relationships you guys want to build with your clients. So I want you to think about, imagine you did some kind of, I'm just throwing this out there, right? Imagine that you did some kind of a repair for a church or a school, something, a hospital. Imagine you did that as some kind of a sponsorship or some kind of a complimentary service that you're going to go and do some work for them. And imagine that you were going to involve some of the youth potentially, or people that were looking to learn more about the business that could become potentially your team members. It could become somebody that wants to learn more about asphalt and pavement and something, give some opportunities to other small businesses. And people are like, well, why would I create competition? And it's like, well, if that's our mindset, if that's the purity of intent, is that we're going to teach other people to be competitors versus teach other people that might want to be a part of our company, and also get the right kind of press as well, the coverage that you're going to get for doing something like that. A bunch of Google reviews, a bunch of photos, maybe some press that's going to cover. But like when you do that kind of stuff, when you go out of your way to do things at a level that comes out of that purity of intent from a consultative approach, you'll find that you'll earn a lot of fans. You'll find you'll have raving fans. You'll find you'll have people that really, really want to be close to you, because you genuinely care. Like Mike said, create a remarkable experience in everything that you do, not just in work, with your family, with your friends, with all the people around you. That's what you should be doing, right? You know, and if you have the right prospect list that's enriched and you're following the right process around doing your outbound calls and booking your pavement assessment appointments, and you're doing your proposals with emotional scopes of work, and you keep doing the stuff that we say every single round table, then you'll be able to go and clean cracks and seal them. You'll be able to go and seal coat parking lots. You'll be able to line stripe. You'll be able to maybe do a subcontracted job with a pavement, with a performance partner for a mill and pave or a new installation. But first and foremost, you got to be able to work the front end of this properly so you can do all of that. You can be the best line striper in the world. You can be the best crack sealing company in the world. You could do the best pothole patching in the world. But if you don't know how to work the front end of that system, it's going to be tough to make a lot of bacon. Any questions on this stuff? Any comments?
I got a comment. I think one of the biggest things that sometimes we forget, especially as we jump into this business to begin with, is that it's you're starting a business, but you're servicing others. By servicing others to the best of your ability, as if you were the customer, you're going to create and attract the right kind of customer who's going to love everything you do about it. You know, what you do for them is going to be the key part. How you speak to them, how you treat, conflicts, how you deal with issues. All of those things come back to how have you treated them? How have you communicated with them? Have you been open and honest? I have a customer I was speaking to today. He'd had some issues with deliveries. And this was just something to do with the shipping company and the supplier. And we've been dealing with this for a week. And it come up in a couple of our meetings. So he phones me today and he's so thankful. He's calling me, he says, I feel so bad for, and all the time it took to deal with this. But I really just wanted to tell you that I love what you did. I love the fact that you solved it. I love the fact that you guys went through the process to complete what it was. I'm always your guy. It was interesting because as you struggle through these things with your customers become more your friend and more your partners than you ever thought they could be. So I just really appreciate the fact that we're highlighting, if you treat your customer as if it was your own, you're the customer, treat them as if it was you. Put the perspective glasses on, look in the mirror and say, hey, well, how would I want to be treated if there was an issue or if there was something going on? Or even if there's not, even if it's just a good job, make sure we're always treating them as if they're you or your family.
Yeah, 100%. Any questions or comments at all? Don't be afraid. Only silly question is the one unasked, as we say. Matthew VO, it's good to see you on, brother. You got a good tan, man. You've been busy out there. Season's coming up to kind of that pothole hunting season time, or what?
Yes, it is. We're going to be hopefully getting into more of the paving end of it as well. So I'm excited, tired, but excited.
Excited. I remember the very first conversation I had with you, dude. Pretty cool, huh? How it all unfolds.
Oh, I know. Yeah. No, it's been great to be a part of this family. So
Proud of you, bro.
Yeah.
Proud of you. I wanted to jump in just and feel free, by the way, just pop your hand up or just raise your hand if you have questions or comments. I dropped a link in the chat for all of you. I know a lot of people are already attending it, but for those of you that want in on it, 7 p.m. tomorrow night, there's a learning session with Lee Lois. For those of you that don't know Lee Lois, 50-year plus veteran in the pavement industry, inductee in the Hall of Fame for the Pavement Hall of Fame, speaks at conventions. He's a icon in the industry. He's doing a 90-minute learning session. You'll get a certificate of course completion. You'll also get the recording and also his book that he's launching. It's all about basically the science behind pavement. So if you're looking to level up there and you're looking to speak about pavement as more of a professional, it's probably a $299 investment you may want to make. I see Matt's got his already in. Matt, you've got one in. Matt, but you're such an incredible dude, by the way. I love you, Matt Phillips. He's such a good guy. We'll see you tomorrow night on it, man. We're excited to have you as well. But you know, I say this too, like no matter your experience, no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're brand new or whether you're a seasoned veteran, there's always something new to learn from somebody who's got 50 years of experience. That's for sure. And if you walk away with one nugget from that and you can apply it, you know, it's an investment for you. So I'd take advantage if you can. I'm not here to hard sell you on it, but I am here to put it in there to let you guys know that that is available to you. All right. And I think that right now, from the looks of it, there are a total of 19 people that are attending it. So we're going to do it tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Links in the comments below. Any questions? Luke, I haven't seen you on here, man. Is this your first roundtable? You've been on here before, Luke?
Hey, Ben.
Luke, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. This is my first time on here.
Welcome, man. Where are you located?
I'm out in Nevada, like Reno.
Cool. You run a business out there?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy how this all started. So Mateus has been like my go-to for every question, I swear. So in 2022, I started a power washing company. So everything that's like super popular of like home services is like East Coast. So I'm originally from California, moved to Nevada back in 22. So I'm seeing a lot of people power wash and I'm like, okay, cool. So
Here, Miguel. Come.
yeah,
What's
up
up,
in
bud?
Nevada, there's not really like grime or sludge like you see on the East Coast. So we're going, you know, door to door. We're doing gas stations. We're doing a lot of commercial jobs and all that fun stuff. And a lot of people started asking about, hey, do you guys do window cleaning? So I was like, no. And after so many people asked that, okay, so we started doing the window cleaning. So we got the water fed pull system, yada, yada. And this was about 2 months ago. I ran across one of your videos, like an old video, like a couple years ago. And I was like, seal coating, like, okay. And so I started going down
A
this.
couple years ago, did I have gray hair or no gray hair back then?
This was man, I would have to see. You had it was a blue Asphalt Kingdom shirt. Like it was like one of your old
This is
videos.
long, dude. This is like 10 years ago. This is like when I was in my 30s, man. I'm like 70 now.
So I'm like, I'm watching these videos and I was like, what? Okay. So we start, you know, hey, what could we shift here? Like, and so I just went full send into like the seal coating and yeah, Mateus has been helping me like every step away. I'm calling him, hey, you know, so we did a couple demos, like some tests on some like people's residential driveways, whether that's the clear wet look finish or doing the buckets. And I was like, man, there's got to be a better way, a faster way. And that's when I started going down the rabbit hole of the spray system. So the first system that we got so far is the tote system. And so that's on its way right now. And so I have this whiteboard we've sent out like 35 different proposals. and I have like 5 already landed. And there's one of them I actually right before this even happened, I called Mateus, and I kind of shot myself in the foot. So ever since ordering the tote system, they came with like that free the $1,500 pack. That was like the bundle where you see the videos, all this stuff. So I started going down the rabbit hole. I'm watching every single video. I'm doing pretty much like full send. And yeah, so one of the videos that you talk about, like, don't undercut your competition, like try to stay in their price point. And so I talked to Mateus about this, and I was like, I don't think this tote system's gonna last long because like I feel like I've already outgrown it. And so today the square footage is 376,000 square feet. And so so I was like, oh, this is probably one of those Hail Marys, whatever. And so I hit him at 20 cents instead of like the 25, 30 cent range. And so they just called me around like 1, and they're like, hey, like you won it, but we did 10% for the crack filling. So that's gonna make up a lot of the sorting, I
32,000
guess.
32,000 linear feet of crack sealing you built into
Yeah.
that quote.
And
At what price per
mhm.
foot?
So we just did a total of like 10%. So me and Mateus, we got it down to like 188 boxes. And then we just hit them at like 37,666 bucks. And so that's just
They
for,
cleared. They approved it. They approved it.
yeah. So the total bid is 113,000. So I was like super pumped, super excited. But now I'm like, okay, I have this tote system that's not even here yet. And it's already like,
A solution for you. I have a solution for you.
Hold
Your
on,
tote
Judd. Hold
system-
on. Let him finish. Let him finish.
all
I
right,
know
finish.
just let him finish.
But yeah, the phone call was I was super excited, but then I'm like, man, I wonder what the other bids came, what they rejected and why they accepted it so fast. So it's just still obviously gonna make money, but it's just like if we do the math on the tote system for it's like 27.5 for the square foot, like it's gonna be like 12 or some crazy number of like fill-ups. I'm like, that's not gonna work. That's so definitely
So when's the timing?
uh
Tell him that, Luke. That's what I want
so
you to tell him.
so yeah, so the project is going to be start of 2026. So there's definitely some time. So the tote system will be good for a couple of the other jobs that we have like lined up when it gets here. So what and again, I just bought, again, this was all within like the past month and a half, 2 months of doing the seal coating research and like, is this legit? And you start looking at the videos, and I'm pretty sure everyone on here can speak to this. Is if you go on YouTube, you type in seal coating, who do you see? Asphalt Kingdom. Like there's a couple other guys out there that stand out, but when it comes to like supplies, pretty much a one-stop shop is Asphalt Kingdom, like 100%. So like you go to other websites, similar products, similar whatever, but the quality looks terrible. The website looks terrible. But I'm just speaking on, again, it's not like bashing anybody. This is me being so new to the industry. It's like, wow, the only person who is making the content, selling the tools that you need was you guys. So again, like like a lot of like research took place before I started going full send. But yeah, your videos from, man, I've gone through like every single video of just like watching everything just to see like, okay, this is a like a route that could make a really good amount of money, also good connections. But like what me and Mateus were talking about was your guys's like trailers, like your rig setups. And so I just bought a truck back in October, and it's just a normal truck for what I do, all the power washing. I don't need to tow something crazy, but now I'm like thinking for the bigger jobs, it's like I need to upgrade the truck so I can get the big trailer and be ready to rock and roll. But yeah, it's definitely, the content has helped tremendously, and for sure.
I am super, super stoked for you, number one. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
28.
28. My son's 20, turning 26. He says full send all the time, and I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, I know exactly what full send is. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the bottom line, man. There's an evolution to your growth always. The time in which it takes to evolve into that higher level performer as a premier pavement asset management company is really up to each and every one of us, how fast we want to move, and how willing we are how willing we are to actually dig into the process that's needed. So, I want you to imagine something, man. Like, I want you to imagine that this is happening without without having a system that's been built where you have appointment setters that are actually dialing 100 calls a day to the enriched prospect list, setting up pavement assessment appointments for you or your estimators that are out in the field. And then I want you to imagine that you're going to self-perform on work, or you're going to have performance partners that are executing on those projects for you because you'll be so loaded with work you won't know what to do with. That's when you want to make sure that you have some friendly competition, right? Some people in the area that's willing to work with you. And I think from a mindset perspective, just coming up with that belief and conviction that you're now seeing these closes that are happening, sky becomes really the limit. It's how far do you want to go? Because, we're in discussions with people who actually are like, man, I built the system. Now I want to go multi-state. I want to go national, and it's like, there's people who still have, they want to do 5 million in their state, and then they want to go out of state and continue to break into those states. And it's something really special, watching Skylar grow in Pennsylvania and then traveling for work and sending crews to different states to go execute on projects. That's something really, really, really special, man. And yeah, great opportunities. Skylar, cool stuff, right? That's pretty cool to hear, man. Luke.
Super fun stuff, man. Super fun stuff.
Yeah.
I say stick with the motto of full send. And if you stick with the motto, focus on it, don't get distracted, take it slow but fast, all in the same breath.
Yeah.
Micro speed, macro patience. I really appreciate that. So understand what you're doing, understand, where you're going, but operate like a killer every single day.
Yeah. Congrats, Luke. Yeah, it's a good connect too, man. Like, Skylar's not a whole lot older than you, man. He's built an absolute beautiful company, has still lots of work to go, and he's, in real estate and all kinds of stuff. But man, it's awesome to see the younger generation. I really want to congratulate you, man. There's a lot of the younger generation that are extremely distracted, right? From what's in front of them in their hands every day. And so for you going out and building a service-based business, I'm sure you follow Adam Chapman, Home Services University, Adam Chapman, Pad Pal. If you don't, gutter cleaning, roofing, like all pressure washing, soft washing, driveway sealing, all that stuff. Yeah, he's done a really good job too, and just recently sold his company. But congrats, stoked for you, brother. Yeah,
Thank you.
Hank. We've got. I don't know if you're still on here, Hank, but you had your hand up. Yeah, yes, you are, sir. Go ahead. What's happening?
How's everybody doing? My name is Hank. I'm doing pavement asset management in Southeast Michigan, but I just had to give my testament to Asphalt Kingdom. Started my company, Max Black, July 1st, and I'm doing a estimate for my third commercial job. So I spent a month with Dylan, coaching, and just all the golden nuggets that's always dropped. It's like to me, it's like bottomless. They give you what you can use. They don't give you everything, but from things like profit first. I heard about that from Asphalt Kingdom. You talk about being a consultant salesperson. I've been treating all my clients like that, going and approaching it from that angle. And I basically already broken even. I wish I would have took more Dylan's advice as far as equipment purchase, but I'm just ecstatic to be part of the family, and I wanted to say something.
Appreciate you coming out, man, and saying that. Yeah, it's again, it's success attracts success. We have a responsibility to each other as a community. We really do. We have to push each other to continuously grow and improve. And it's coming back here. You know, you're going to come to the roundtable and you're going to hear the same thing a lot. But the same thing that you're going to hear a lot is that drum beat and that higher frequency that's going to allow you to be more successful. I promise, man. There's a reason why so many people are winning on the screen. There's so many people that are also not on the screen that are winning in the background that we're on, you know, WhatsApp groups with and so on and so forth. So, Hank, congratulations, man. And, you know, you've learned how to ride the bike. Now it's continuously adding more gears to that bike and building speed and momentum. And so, yeah, congrats, man. Team, we're at the top of the hour. We've got about 7 minutes left for the roundtable tonight. Does anybody have any questions, any comments, anything that you want to touch base on? Any words of wisdom, Matt Phillips, from your side there? Anything you're thinking? Anything on your mind? I know you're finishing up another job, probably stacked with work.
Yeah, we're just trying to. I think our season's ending, and I get more calls and more calls. We just got another a big HOA up in the ski resort there that I've been after him for actually 2 years now, and he called me just today and said, "Hey, we want to go with it. It's a $20,000 job. We'll get it done in a day and a half." And yeah, it's you know, it's this was a condominium complex that you were talking about earlier. Be that consultant. He's called me several times over the years saying, "Hey, what should we do about this? What should we do about that?" But, you know, never pulled the trigger on a full seal coat and line stripe job. I've crack sealed for him over the years. I've painted for him, but I've never done the full seal coat. So finally convinced them, finally they said, "Yeah, let's get it done." So just be that, you know, that go-to sales. And when you're talking about that, you know, the clientele, as you build your business, you know, be that respectable business owner that they will call you back. I mentioned it a couple roundtables ago about a client that called up and just said, "Hey, Matt, we need our driveway done, get it done, you know, 12 grand. Didn't even think twice about it. He didn't even ask for me for a price. He just knew that I would take care of him." And so those are the clients you want to build for your business to be ongoing, and just you get into a cycle of repeat business. And as the weather changes, now I'm getting calls of procrastinators that are like, "Oh, I need to get this done." So I'm just, you know, we're just slammed through the end of the year. As for the guy in Reno there, hopefully he's got a good source for material. If he doesn't, let me know. You know, reach out to me. We can get my supplier will drop ship a trailer to you right on site. So if you are running a tote, your fill ups are right on site rather than having to go to, I don't know if you're getting material from Reichert or not. They're in Ely's, where, I mean, I've done motels in Ely and everything over there. So if you need some, you know, have any questions or not, feel free to reach out to me. But yeah, so that's a congrats on that square footage. We did 200,000 this week and another scheduled 250 next week. So it's nice to get those big jobs. But when you start getting those big jobs weekly, it's even nicer. So anyway, plan for the future, work hard, you know, take advice where you can. You know, I saw something on about being coachable. Be coachable. If you want to win at anything, and your coach is not there to coach you to lose. He wants to win too. So your coach, be coachable. If you can't be coachable, you got to look inward and say, "Hey, there's something wrong with me. If I'm not willing to be coachable, there's something wrong with me." So just be coachable and you'll be successful. So that's my 2-bit. Hopefully it didn't bore anybody.
You never do, man. You never do. Matt, just a question out of genuine curiosity, because we haven't spoken You have mentioned that you are joining us tomorrow night with Lee Lois. And I know that you've met him before at a previous roundup event live, but why did you invest into that $299 learning session with Lee Lois? I want to know genuinely, be super transparent with the team here.
So I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, we hit our goal for gallons this year, which was over 90,000 gallons of seal coat put down. And so I have met Lee before in Florida, and I think knowledge, you got to get, when you can have an opportunity to gain knowledge, especially in your industry. You think about it, people go to college and they'll sit through a chemistry class, but they're taking accounting. To me, it doesn't make sense, but if you're an accountant and you can go to an accounting seminar, why not go there and get more knowledge? Same with seal coating, same with this asphalt preservation. If you can get knowledge, and he may not, everything he speaks to may not necessarily resonate with me, but if I know that I'll come away with some information that I haven't had before, and more importantly, that I could share with my clients, when they're asking me, well, what is the difference between, or why do we need preservation? And I can say, well, for 30 years or for 50 years, this is the industry standard, and this is why, and this helps prevent, this extends life. So you're speaking of knowledge and experience, and for new people, it won't hurt, especially if you're starting to invest in your business and your career. In fact, and Judd, I emailed you earlier. I don't know if now's a good time I don't know if you've already awarded that or not.
Sure,
but I'm
not sure. It's been spoken about this morning, and it's been handed off for search, but I don't know that I have the answer to that yet.
Well, so I believe so passionately in education. I mean, I come to every pavement expo that I can personally attend. Do I need to? No. Do I want to? Most of the time. Do I have to? Yes. And the reason why I say I have to is because you come away with information and knowledge to build your business, and to be that business is separate or set apart from others. But I believe in that training and that experience so passionately that I extended an offer to Asphalt Kingdom, to Judd, via text, that if there's somebody on Roundtable that's a roundtable participant that is serious about their business, you send a request to Judd and his team, or Matthias or whoever, and just ask them. And I'm willing to give a scholarship for one seat at that training tomorrow. So I'll pay for it. I'll pay your airfare and your hotel. No, it's a Zoom meeting, so you don't get any of that stuff. So, but you get an opportunity to go. But I do want somebody that is really serious, and may not have the financial means to do that right now, but just to be able to leg up, and hopefully someday you'll be able to pay it forward. So anyway, that's my offer to this roundtable group. So if someone wants to take advantage of it, reach out to Judd and his team and let them know.
You're an incredible human, man. We were talking about you this morning, and it's something that is a part of the core values, and paying that forward is huge. So thank you for doing that. And I know that the person is going to be very, very grateful as well. For those of you, again, this is not for me to push you to do this. I'm well, actually, I'm going to push you to do it, but it's not to transparently. We're covering Lee's time on this, and it's covering the costs of making sure that we do this thing properly. This is $299. Like, this is not a $5,000 or $2,500 one-on-one. It is a 90-minute group session with a bunch of people that are really looking to level up. You get a certificate of course completion, you get the recording, you get access to the vault. And of course, you get his book as well as part of that. That's huge value. And so for those of you that do have the time, do it. Just trust me on it. You'll walk away with a ton of value. Matt, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, so it's a little different, but I was working on a driveway yesterday, and you know it was a fairly good size, 130 gallons I used over there. But the knowledge that I took away from it yesterday was I blew a high pressure line on my compressor, and I guess it was rubbing back and forth on the safety grate of the compressor. So of course, you know, I'm in a panic and I'm trying to get this done. We just started edging around the building and everything else, and so then I go to 5 different stores, and we're about at 2.5 hours into it now, and I was like, God, who do I know? So I reached out to the local distributor that I'm buying sealer from now, and he's like, well, have you tried a hydraulic line? I go, no, I haven't tried a hydraulic line. So he goes, O'Reilly, if you go to O'Reilly's, they'll make hydraulic lines for you you just bring the old one in, they'll make it up for you, you're good to go. And I was able to head back, finish the job. Customer was ecstatic because I had sent him a text saying, you know, the noise that you heard earlier was the compressor line blowing. And so he was asking me questions if I was going to be able to finish it and all this other stuff. But he came home that night. We finished around 7:30 at night, and he was ecstatic. He goes, it looks like a brand new driveway. So I figured I'd like to share that. You know, we basically wear so many different hats as a salesman, as the installer. You're also a mechanic as well. So
Accountant, marketing, customer service. Yeah,
everything.
and we wear a lot of hats, right?
Yep,
Matt?
exactly. So I just wanted to share that. Maintenance on your equipment is crucial. So
Yeah, that's what I took from it. Make sure you do your preventative maintenance. Make sure you check over those things, see if there's any wear and tear on something. Have an extra replacement piece there if you feel like it's going to last, but in case that happens, have an extra.
yeah, I had no idea. It was rubbing. No idea.
Good inspection walkthroughs, yeah. And by the way, I would assume that. Go ahead, McKen.
I was just going to tell Matt a good little story about why maintenance is important and how I learned the lesson the hard way. I once had a white vinyl house that I painted black because we had a hose blow. So the importance of preventative maintenance is critical because you only have to learn that lesson once. I will preach that. So
one of the hose connections on a reel failed, and we were in the school parking lot. Thank God I was in the parking lot, but I had a fountain coming out of there. I had to run and shut the machine off, and one of my employees dodged underneath it, and he was just covered. I felt so bad. He pulled that valve, and we were able to clean it all up. But thank God we were in a parking lot. But if we were near, you know, somebody's car or somebody's house, it would have been a nightmare. Yeah. And always have water on hand.
Yes.
So,
yes. You know, it's interesting, right? Like it's interesting because a lot of us, and I think this is a really good thing to think about, is that, you know, for yourself, and if you're operating with someone, team, have you gone through what an emergency situation looks like and rolled that without it being an emergency situation? Go through it, right? It's like the fire drills. You remember fire drills? Like let's go through things that could be things that could happen out on a job site. You know, you get out on a 300,000 square footer or something, and you've got hoses that blow. What do you have for backup? You know, pump goes. What happens? Do we have a pump for backup? Do we have a possibility that, you know, we forgot gloves and somebody drops a brick of crack sealer into one of the push melters and it splashes up onto their arms or on their face? What happens? What's next? Who do we call? What do we do? Where's their first aid kits? Right? And I think that that's really important. Have your SOPs all in place ahead of time and roll through those things so that you know how to deal with them when they do arise. It's not a matter if, it's usually when things like this arrives. You know, it's like a roofer. Get up there. What happens when you happen to go through a roof? What happens when you fall off the edge of a roof? right? What happens when you're on the ground? Go through these things, and it's not to scare us. It's just to make sure that we're prepared for situations that may arise. What happens when a trailer comes off the back of your truck and you're going 65 down the highway? Who do you call?
Matt knows about that.
Yeah. But it's like, until these things happen, sometimes, you know, we haven't put the 1 hour of thinking time in and typed it into a Google sheet and having at least the thought that's gone into it, and then the solutions or the people or the things that we need to do, you know, people we call, things we need to do. But there you have it. Kingsley, you do have your hand up. We're going to do one more question, then we're going to shut down because we are overtime. Kingsley, can you hear us? All right. If you can, I want you to know we're thinking about you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Cool. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judd. Hi, guys. Hi, Dylan. How you doing? Yeah, I have a couple of questions here. Number one, the training for tomorrow, do we have exclusive price for new students like me?
Yeah,
Number one.
it's $299 for this event. This is just to cover some basic costs transparently. The $299 is the price. Yeah.
So no special price for new student. Okay. Number two.
No, that is the special price for all students. Yeah.
Okay, and number two, Jude, I don't know what you can do with your team. I can see, I love the synergy with the guys in the States. You know, the way they cohabit, the way they cooperate, you know, share resources and all of that. I don't feel that same energy for we in Canada. Um, for me, I'm in Ontario. I kind of feel lonely. You know, nobody to like share ideas. Nobody to like, you know, in case of you have a job that's, you know, out of your capacity, how we can share, you know, resources together to execute this job and all of that. So I don't know what you can do long term to see how we can synergize, you know, create that energy for people in this side of space. And number three, I think the Phantom Buster. Uh, um, I don't know the other guys that did it. What package, you know, worked for them? Within that tool, because I'm interested. I really need to make one or two sales, so I don't know what advice I can get at that.
Couple of things to address. One is that this roundtable is both. It's actually a global roundtable. We have people that visit from all over the world. I'm originally from Montreal. Dylan McCann on here is from Western Canada, and Matthias is from Western Canada as well. So we've got a lot of Canadians on here actually as well. So just transparently, we've got tons of Canadian clients that range from Newfoundland all the way out to the west coast of Canada. So we do have a major Canadian team as well, just so you know, Kingsley. That's the first thing. The second thing is that relating to Phantom Busters and the level that you need, from the sound of it, if you're looking for a couple of jobs just to get kickstarted, I'd start out with a very basic option as a starting point. But I'd also strongly advise that you spend time like Luke did watching the YouTube University and really investing your time into all the videos that have been literally produced for the reasons to help somebody get kickstarted in the right way. There's a massive amount of free resources on Asphalt Kingdom. There's a massive amount of content in our YouTube channels. And I think that just investing the time heavily into those areas is going to be really important for you to become a master of your craft and continuing to grow. That's my best advice to you at this point.
All right, thank you.
I just also wanted to mention, I was looking at the map around Toronto area there. We've got somebody in Oshawa, Hamilton, 2 in Toronto, 1 in Port Elgin, also in Fort Erie near Buffalo there. So there is some people smattered around that area. If you just look at your map dial in, you should be able to see those people and make connections.
How can we get the list of these guys to reach out to them?
It's on our, here, I'll just put it into the chat so you can see the map.
Network. You're reading off Contractor Network right now, Matthias?
That's what I'm looking at, the map. I just dialed in on Toronto and I found all the dots around Toronto. And that's where you can reach out to any of those people. They're in our network. So.
All right, thank you, Matthias.
Yep, you're very welcome.
And by the way, for everyone on here, this is a really important thing. If McCann can, then we all can. Is that right, McCann?
Are you talking about being a McCann and not a McCant? Is that what you mean?
We can only be a McCann. That's listen, I don't know where that came from, but it happened right on the spot and it was brilliant. I'm just like, everyone on here, listen, Mr. McCann right over here. I
Sorry,
love it.
sorry,
This
Jude.
guy Go ahead, Kate.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. It would be rude for me to end my call without making a big shout out to Matt Phillip for coming through for me in the weekend. I was kind of tight with a customer trying to get quotes and trying to get some stuff figured out. And I called Matt. Was very early in the morning. He was just waking up and he was still able to help me out. So I truly appreciate it. I want to say a big thank you.
Matt's an awesome guy. McCann, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just going to share the old Irish family motto that, whether it was playing hockey or sports or school, my father always made sure to let me know that we're only McCanns, we're not McCants. So it's a good family motto. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, listen, everyone on here, thank you for pouring time into your presence so that you can build a brighter future. That's what it's all about. And we do have one request from everyone on here. One request. What you learn here and what you learn within the Asphalt Kingdom, do me a favor, just pay it forward to other people out there in this world, man. That's all. Just pay it forward. All right. Cool. All right, everyone. We will see for a lot of you. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on the Science Behind Pavement Maintenance and Repair with Mr. Lee Lois. And for everyone who is not attending, I hope to see you next week, same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable. Have a great night and a successful balance of your week.